Now to the day's other news. A powerful typhoon weakened over southern China with a growing death toll in its wake. Earlier, the storm killed at least 66 people in the northern Philippines. Today, crews search for up to 50 people missing there. In Afghanistan, multiple Taliban attacks overnight killed at least 27 members of the security forces. The assaults targeted police and military bases and Afghan checkpoints across 3 provinces. Officials said at least 42 Taliban fighters also died in the attacks. There are new allegations of sexual abuse and cover-up by Roman Catholic clergy in the Netherlands. The Dutch newspaper NRC reports half of the country's cardinals and bishops were linked to the scandal between 1945 and 2010. The newspaper did its own research and drew on a church report from 2011. It found up to 20,000 Dutch children were abused at church institutions over 65 years. The government of Australia has ordered an investigation into sewing needles found inside packaged strawberries. The scare started last week in Queensland state. Since then, there have been cases in all 6 Australian states. The nation's health minister today called in Australia's Food Safety Agency.
We have also tasked the federal agency to investigate whether there are supply chain weaknesses, whether there are actions that we can take to assist the police, whether there are systemic changes which are required. But at the end of the day, the job is very, very clear. Protect the public.
So far, 1 man has been hospitalized after eating a berry with a needle in it. Back in this country, President Trump directed the Justice Department and the FBI to declassify more information from the Russia investigation. It includes text messages from former FBI Director James Comey and from former agent Peter Strzok, who sent disparaging messages about Mr. Trump. House Republicans have pushed for the release. The Trump administration is cutting refugee admissions to 30,000 next year. That is down from 45,000 this year and from 85,000 in 2016. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announced the change. He said the focus will be on providing aid in frontline states to keep refugees from leaving. A Chicago jury heard opening statements today in the shooting death of Laquan McDonald in 2014, a case that has roiled the city. White police officer Jason Van Dyke is charged with first-degree murder. Prosecutors played a video showing Van Dyke firing 16 times. The 17-year-old McDonald was seen holding a small knife and walking away. The defense argued that Van Dyke feared for his life. And in economic news, President Trump has just announced major new tariffs on $200 billion in Chinese goods starting next week. They will start at 10% and reach 25% by the end of the year. On Wall Street, stocks gave ground on expectations of those new tariffs on China. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 92 points to close at 26,062. The Nasdaq fell 114, and the S&P 500 slipped 16. Still to come on the NewsHour, Russia and Turkey create a demilitarized zone around the last area of rebel-held Syria. And our Politics Monday team joins us to discuss the accusations against the Supreme Court nominee.